The middle of the afternoon, that lazy, comfortable time after lunch when people more fortunate than I could afford to have naps, was not the ideal time to be catching up with administration. It was the time that I would normally go for a walk, find someone to visit or something to buy. But the neglect of my administration account for the past 3 weeks had exploded the list of exceedingly boring tasks that also happened to be important, such as to make sure my staff was paid. And I was a little ashamed that I found it impossible to concentrate, my thoughts drifting off to more pressing issues, such as Captain Luczon of the Aghyrian ship, who lodged in the apartment below mine, and who had proven to be a little difficult to deal with, who had to be dealt with, after I'd done the damned administration. Someone knocked on the door. I looked up from my reader. "Come in." The door opened, briefly letting in a snatch of sound. A woman yelling at the top of her voice, somewhere in the hall, I judged, by the way the sound echoed. My trusted member of staff, Devlin, slipped into the room. The noise cut off when he shut the door behind him. He sat on the armrest of the chair opposite the desk, glancing over the various readers spread out before me, each with a different accountancy page displayed. He knew what I was doing, respected it. It needed to be done. "Is she still at it?" I asked him. "Yup." He gave a lopsided smile, because, seriously, smiling was the only thing one could do, besides hoping that this ordeal would soon be over, and Zinanu would go home and terrorize everyone there. "What's she on about now?" "Apparently, Irani brought her yellow-coated breakfast, and she spent most of the morning throwing up." "Isn't that what most pregnant women do?" Devlin shrugged. "You tell me, Maury. I wouldn't know." "So, what about this breakfast? Did she accidentally get Evi or Talaris's trays? Did they get their breakfast?" "They did. They ate at the table." He grinned. "You have no sympathy for the poor woman, Maury." "Not if she behaves like that." He chuckled, and then his face turned serious. We all knew this episode would cause trouble somewhere down the line. We could laugh at Zinanu now, but we wouldn't laugh so much when she went home and her clan leaders heard her side of the story. I'd already suffered more run-ins with Delegate Ayanu than I cared to remember. And then Devlin said, "I have a problem, Maury." "A problem? I would love the luxury of having just a problem." Ever since we had returned from the Aghyrian ship with its captain, the problems that we hadn't solved before we left appeared to have bred in dark corners. They were swarming us like a herd of cockroaches. When you squished one, 2 new ones appeared. "I think this may be the mother of all problems." His face was perfectly serious, but I didn't miss the playful look in his eyes. I had often accused the local Kehu people of being lazy, humorless bureaucrats, but like so many of my ill-informed snap judgments, I was quickly coming to re-evaluate that opinion. Even if Kehu weren't blessed with the most attractive physique and their ways were unassuming, they were incredibly stubborn and could be funny if you took the time to pay attention to their dark, self-deprecating comments. "Let's have this mother of all problems, then." "I've discovered why so many people have been angry at you." "You mean any reason other than that I cleared out without notice, stayed away for 3 weeks, and came back with someone who will change the course of history?" "Other than that." "It had better be something we can fix, then." "We can, but it's going to need some investment. The reason why you haven't responded to a lot of urgent correspondence is that you never got it. The hub storage is full." I stared at him. "Is that all? Empty it." "That's all very well, Maury, but what do I do with all the messages, materials, and documents that people have sent you?"